Well, I'm Jeff Peterson from Vinyl Haven, Maine, and just love to eat lobsters. I've done it my whole life, and I've brought some nice lobsters up which we're going to cook here in a little while and show you how to at least eat a lobster with your bare hands. This is a male 2-pounder, hard shell, and as you can see that he's very dark marked up, and he's just a hard shell. He hasn't shed this year yet. So anyway, he's a male, as you can see from his hard things here underneath. I can't even remember what they call them professionally, but this is a male, and that's how you tell a male, is these are hard. Now the other one is a new shell lobster, and it's a female. And the way you tell a female is that the same thing we was looking at on the male. These are soft up in here, and the tails are just a little bit wider, and the claws are just slightly smaller. And usually the body on the back is a little wider too. So that's how we tell them apart. And to tell a shedder from a hard shell is by the hardness of them. So they want to take off here. And a shedder will have a slippery feel to them, and the hard shell will be a little not so slippery. You can feel it if you just rub them slowly. I also brought some Jonah crabs up, and these are the claws, and we'll cook them right along with the lobsters. And later we will show you how to break them the easiest way that I know how, since I've done it so long. So anyway, in a little while after they're cooked, we will start processing them with my hands, and I'll get every bit of meat that's available in the lobster, and we'll pick it up from there. Well, we're back, and we've got the lobsters cooked, and here they are, the hard shell and the soft shell. We're going to set this aside for now, and I've been doing this my whole life, fishing, catching lobsters, and of course eating lobsters for many, many, many years. So anyway, we're going to start right in so we can make this quick. We're going to try to eat this, pick this lobster out without using any utensils. So first I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to break the claws off by pulling them towards me. Then I'm going to break the tail off. And then we have at least broke down in 3 parts. I guess we'll start with the tail, and there's this piece of meat up here, which is very edible, that sometimes stays in the shell and is either on the back of the tail. So we'll put that over there. Now I'm going to break the fins off all at once. And remember, this is a hard shell lobster, so there may be juice, there may be not. If you like to save the juice. Now I'm going to squeeze the tail so that it opens right up and exposes the meat. And that's every bit of meat out of the shell. Now we're going to strip the meat, the back down, to get the entrail out. And this one is fairly clean. So there's the tail out, and there's what we call the back strip. Now we have these little fins here. Let's see if we can save the meat out of them, which most people throw away. Now that didn't come off, so I'm going to squeeze it out. So there's another piece of meat. And remember, I'm doing this only with my hands, no utensils. And then I'll twist this to get the meat started. And then there's that piece. And for the other side, we'll do the exact same thing. And this is a hard shell lobster. The soft shell lobsters, the meat usually comes out when you break that apart. And then I just squeeze this out. And then that's quite a hunk of meat right there. Now we're going to get to the claws. So we're going to break that off. And if there's any juice, if you like to save the juice, and this is so full of meat, look at that, there's none. And there's another piece of meat. Now we're going to hang on to this for leverage so we can break this lower joint off. And what did I do? Here's what we have for a natural picker. So that actually picks the meat out, and that is empty. Now we're going to break the knuckle off. Here comes the hard part, because this is a hard shell lobster. See if I can squeeze it. Uh-oh, it's a tough one. Oh, I can't do it, so we're going to pick it out. I'll show you on the shedder how that comes out. And I believe we got all the meat out of there. So that's out of that one knuckle. Now, since I can't, this is a kitchen table, I'm hoping I'm able to break that by imitating a corner of a rock or a table or something. Let's see if I can do this. And it's going to be hard. One. Uh-oh. It started to crack. Nope. Well, I'm going to cheat. Here you go. I have a knife. This is, I'll show you on the shedder how that would work. And there's the whole claw meat out. This is a very hard, as you can see, thick lobster. Now, going back to this little piece here, there's a little piece of meat in there, so we may as well save it. Now we're going to do the upper claw. And our little picker is handy here. And if there's any juice in it, this is such a hard lobster, I doubt if there's any. Wow. Same thing as the other claw, we have leverage. And then we'll break the knuckle off. And since I couldn't break the first one, it's such a hard shell, I'm not even going to try. So we'll use the picker that comes with the lobster. And there's the meat out of one knuckle. And that's the lower part of the knuckle. Now, I know I'm not going to try to break that, but I'll show you how to do it with a softer lobster. We saved the side here. So this is, whatever you call it, a kitchen utensil. Whoa, that went off quick. Maybe I'll try to get it. Oh, wait, this is a toughie. There we go. has all the meat, and that's gone. Set that aside. And there's a little meat in here. Whether we can get it out or not, I don't know. And there's that. Now we're getting to the body. Save that. Now when you break the legs off, you want to break these three on both sides and try to get the leg segments to come off with it. And if you don't, we have our little natural picker to get it off. And the last leg, use your picker that comes with a lobster to break that off. I'll save that for a later thing. Now we're going to go to the other side and try to get the segments to come off with it. That side, all three of them come off. And the picker will get the last one. The reason we do that is that if you try to rip it off, it rips it away, the body apart. Now we have the whole body exposed. Now we're going to break the nose off, or the jaws and the teeth and the front part of the lobster. And now we're going to break this down this way. And now we're going to pick each segment out, and I'll pile the meat up in front of you. And each segment, look at that, that's all meat. For those that throw this away, I'm sure the kitchen people probably love it. That is, if they know how to get the meat up. And that's one side. As you can see, it's pretty much got every segment of meat out of it. Now we're going to go back to what we left, and we're going to pick the meat off the backbone on one side of the cartilage. And now we're going to break this off from the other half. And sometimes the meat actually from the leg segments comes off with it. And that's the backbone of the lobster with just very little meat left in it. Now we're on to the other segment and do the same thing as we did to the first side. Each place has meat in it. And you just kind of slide your finger down in between and pull the meat towards you. This is the claw on that side. And a little piece of the shell came with it, but you can feel that. And this is a 2-pound really hard shell lobster, which is more available in the spring than it is later in the season. And we've pretty much got all that meat out of there. And that is a pile of meat out of the body. So we'll stack that over here. Now the tamale, which is the liver of a lobster, is still in the shell. And if you don't have a spoon, we'll use our little rig to come with it. And this is very flavorful. and that's completely edible. As you can see, this is pretty much empty, and that is a treat. Now we're down to the legs. So I guess here is you break the first segment and you have that, and if you're eating the lobster, I guess you would have to bite it or suck it out, just to show you. And same thing with the rest of the leg. You bite it towards you. Now there is another way to get that meat out, and I need a bottle, which I didn't bring with me. And we'll get it ready. And I'll get these ready for a wine bottle. Works very good. And just to make sure we get all the meat. That's a leg segment that didn't come out on the body. And let's see how this will work with the wine bottle. So here we go with, and we have a regular wine bottle. And it's just like a roller pin if you can get it started. And there's that meat. And this is a very hard lobster, but still, as you can see, the meat is forced out. Because if you're eating the lobster, I guess you could just bite it like you do a regular lobster and eat it. You may as well do them all, they're here. And that's the leg meat out of the 8 legs. And that is the meat out of 1 lobster plus the tamale if you like it.
Show it again.
And that's quite a lot of lobster out of 1 lobster.